What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of Dirtnation Offroad. So today we have another install video. This is from my 4runner crew guys here. We have Magneto in the house. So we actually already did the other side, and we're like, hey, you know what? Maybe some people need to know how to do this. So what we're doing today is we're going to be replacing these lower control arm bushings. We're going to press them out, put the new ones in. I'll go around and show you what it looks like finished, but he's going to walk you through the whole thing, what bolts you got to remove, because we were under the impression that we might have to pull this whole thing off, but you really don't. You just lower that down and these bolts come out, and then you can take the whole control arm off, and then we'll show you our tricks of how to get the bushings out and then how to press them back in. So I'm gonna walk around, go to the other side, show you the finished product, and then we'll let Daniel show you what bolts have to come out. All right, so that's the final. We went from rubber to poly. So these yellow bushings here, that's one side, and that's the other side. Where are these from, Daniel?
Siberian bushings.
They're Siberian bushings. So this is what they look like when they're in the bags. They're tested in Siberia, so you know they're good. So Daniel's gonna walk you guys through on all the bolts that you got to remove, and then we'll go with the install afterwards. So break it down. Which ones do we need to remove?
So there's two.
Yeah, right by the ball joint. There's two 17s, right, or 19s?
Two 19s, and then two 17 to remove the sway bar, and it's a 19 to remove the bottom of the coilover. And
then after that pops out, everything comes out, right? Well, you have to remove the back ones.
And then, yeah, those are 22s.
All right, so you need a 22 socket, 17 socket, and a 19 socket, two of each on each of the sides. So two at the bottom, two here, and two there. Once those are all removed, the arm drops down, and then we can take that down to the press, and then we'll start removing this stuff. So we're gonna set this up and let Daniel do it. All right, so Daniel just took this one off. It's coming off now. He actually unbolted it from this side, so I guess this side is a little bit different from the driver's side.
If you have KDSS.
If you have KDSS. So the other side has the pump where it lets you flex. This side's stationary, so it's a little bit tougher. So we just loosen these two. The bottom has a hook system on that bracket, so you got to make sure you loosen the hook so the arm can fall. So we're gonna take that and go press it. Take the old bushings out, put the new ones in. Let's get it. This is a setup that we saw online. So we're gonna use a vise to pretty much lock it in place, and we're gonna use a bottle jack to put pressure on here, and then we're gonna heat this a little bit, and then that'll cause this to pretty much pop out. There is an actual tool that you can use to press this in and out. We couldn't find one. We're using ingenuity here. We're gonna heat this, and then we're gonna pop this out. Heat it up, bro.
Did you get it?
We honestly thought that whole shit blew up. We all died right now. Everybody died. Nobody manned up right there. We all fucking bitched out.
That's why I have the bag here, dude.
All right, so we're gonna do the other side. So remember, this is not the way you should do it, okay? We're doing it because we have a press and we have some torches, but you should get the actual press that lets you just push it out and push it back in. It's just our way because we couldn't find that tool, so we're removing it now. Those. That was that foot. Sick. Just press it out now.
It's just the rubber, huh?
Yeah. No, it's the whole thing.
Oh, yes, the whole thing. Nice.
Nice. So yeah, sometimes that'll happen. That's best case scenario. But it's gonna be really hot too. So if you do decide to do a torch it way, just make sure you're wearing gloves so you can grab it and move it out of the way. And then after that, we're actually gonna show you what we do to clean it. So when you press a new one in, it's not all messy in there and gross, and it lets you slide it in properly. So we're gonna get rid of this contraption, show you guys the new polys, and then we'll show you how we press them in. All right, so the next step is cleaning this out. We actually kind of already cleaned it, but what you want to use is use a wire brush. We're lucky enough to be a Tundra Vix, and he has an air tool. All the inside gets really caught up with dirt and all the stuff from the other piece, which is metal. So that gets in there and it gets a little bit rusted from car washes, mud, and all that. Yeah, it looks like that. What you want to do is clean it so that when you put the new one in, it's nice and smooth, and it just sits better. So he's done with that. We're going to show you how we press them in. All right, so this is what the new ones look like. These new bushings, these are poly. As you can see, these are filled completely to the top, whereas those had kind of play on the inside. So these will be a little bit stiffer, which means that his steering and everything should feel a lot better. But yeah, so we're going to press this in. You got to remove these stickers if you do get them, because that gets caught while you try to press them in. So that's the small one. This is the big one, and they actually look nicer too. So we're going to go with the first one. And all we used to do this was a hammer, and then one of these tools. It was this one. So this is actually from a ball joint extractor and install thing. We just use that, a little bit of WD-40, a hammer, and then some wood on top of it to push it all the way in. This has a lip, so you can't mess this up anyways. As long as the lip touches this side, then you're good. So Magneto's gonna put in the first one. The thing that we did to help with putting the bushing in, since we didn't have the press, was we use a torch to heat it a little bit and get it ready. So it expands the metal and it helps us bang it in. So we use a hammer, a little bit of wood, and then that cap on the top. That should be good. Yeah, it's even. Nice. So the bushing's pressed all the way in. You'll see it come on the other side, obviously. And then that one's on, that one's on, and we're good. We're gonna put the arm back on, and then we'll show you what the final product looks like. Back at it. So what's the first move, Daniel? Back bolts first?
Yeah.
Any tips for the people? I know it gets a little tough sometimes putting it back on.
The front side, you have to hit it with the mallet to kind of wedge it in there.
Okay.
Both sides are like that.
Yeah, make sure that before you remove it, you mark where your what is that called?
The alignment tabs?
Yeah, the alignment tabs are at, so that way you don't mess it up. And then after that, you start putting everything back where it goes. So it's gonna be shock neck. So I'll let Daniel button it all back up, and then we'll show you the finished product. We'll put the other wheel back on, and we'll drop it. And what you want to do is you want to let the suspension set before you tighten everything back up. So that's what we'll do right now. Finish it up, and then we'll tighten up at the end, and then we'll let you know what it feels like. We'll go out for a spin and see if it feels a lot better, which it should feel a little bit tighter, and it should also not make any more squeaky noises. So that's what we're hoping for. All right, so we ran into a little bit of an issue when we're bolting everything back in. That came out of alignment, so we're gonna have to lift it up, and they're pushing it together right now. So it's just things you're gonna have to work on. That might happen. I mean, yours might go up straight and everything's Gucci, but we're having to play with it a little bit. And nothing's tightened yet either, so everything's loose till we can get it to align.
Why didn't you think of that, Jordan?
Yeah, that's what Papa Vic out here killing the game, dog. We're over here sleeping.
Okay, go up a bit.
All right, so before we lose light, I'm gonna show you what the final product looks like. We're just finishing torquing everything. It's getting kind of dark on us quick. So basically, you put some pressure on your wheel, and you should have marked it right before you took them off. And when you put pressure on again, it'll line up back to the line, and then you tighten it back up. So that's what we did. We just finished it up. Both sides are finished. I'll show you the other side too. So like I did at the beginning, but bushings are in. This one's not tightened yet. So once we put pressure on it, we'll align the tabs again. All right, team, so we just finished up. It's getting dark outside, so I'm gonna do the closing statements in here. So basically, these are Siberian Bushings. These are for our OEM lower control arms. His is a 2019. I'm sure it's the same for all the same gens. So yeah, if you're looking for them, they're about 120 bucks for the set shit from Siberian Bushing. So we're gonna test them out. We'll put them through some stress and see how good they do. But yeah, that's the install. So again, get the press so you guys don't have to deal with everything that we did with. We just couldn't find it. So I have a hydraulic press at home, but unfortunately we were here. We got it done anyways. Torch, some hammers. Thanks again for sticking around. Like, comment, subscribe. Make sure you follow Earthcrawler, Tundra Vic, everybody that's helping us. Patreon, Instagram, Facebook, all that good stuff. We love you. We'll see you next time.